Good afternoon, everyone. Brother Darren, Hebrews 9 verse 27, John 3 verse 16. Just come across this article on Quartz, detailing or saying that they'd asked some of the boldest thinkers, some of the elite, what the world will be like in 50 years. Here's what their answers were. Tell us about the future. When you come to this menu system that's here, you've got various options that you can sort of pick to look at. So I've selected artificial intelligence, the chip, and universal basic income. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the thoughts that are out there by some of these leading luminaries, so to speak, and just see what they say. So the first one is Zoltan Isvan, the transhumanist who's in the Republican Party. And he says the world will be run by AI networks and networks of quantum intelligence. Nations will have ceased to exist as independent physical entities because they will be online and have all merged as one. Humans may exist, but they will be off the AI grid and contributing very little to progress and what's happening in the world. Ian Bremmer, the president of the Eurasia Group. There are two countries that have power that matter, the US and China. China will have a bigger economy, there's no question. They have human capital, education, etc. to drive economic growth. But the reality is that for the biggest AI breakthroughs, it will be either the US or China that succeeds. And just one breakthrough could make the difference. It's possible that we see either the US or China make a major breakthrough and everyone else will have to align to their standards, systems and technology. It's also possible that we end up in war. These challenges are only getting bigger. And in a G0 world where there is a vacuum of power in international politics created by the decline of Western influence, it's unclear that today's ideas about what constitutes governance will continue to work. Zoltan Isvan again. Those humans who join AI and merge their brains directly with machines won't work, but will live in virtual worlds freely. Those humans that don't merge with AI will have companies whose primary goal is to keep AI out of the lives of the rest of the humans left on the planet. Ian Bremner again. Companies that do work in AI and technology, likely companies working in spaces that don't currently exist. What will cause the biggest conflicts? So Zoltan Isvan says civil war. Bremmer says AI, climate and geopolitics in that order. How will people earn a living? Doing jobs that robots or AI can't do. Njoki Ngume, filmmaker and doctor. Coming from the country, region and continent I come from, we have for decades been asking, how are so many people currently surviving without adequately paying jobs, when these jobs are so central to daily survival? A friend of mine says that someone somewhere is already living what you think is the wildest dystopia. In many ways, we're already living some of each other's worst hypothetical outcomes. The way a lot of global North media reports on Africa, South America and parts of Asia can tell you that. Tech has resulted in multiple grey and informal economies because the revolutions in transport and accommodations, for instance, have moved so fast into people's daily convenience and across borders that laws and regulations are only just catching up. That said, in many ways we will still earn how we have always earned, by trading the goods and services we want to each other. But the idea of living is what is in flux. For instance, universal basic income and more robust welfare is in the cards. It will mean that the people have more control over what they do in order to survive. That would be interesting. Richard Branson. The world is changing fast with the acceleration of AI and other new technology. I believe universal basic income could make sure everyone's basic needs are met. But I also hope that rather than replacing jobs, more companies will figure out how to use AI to replace repetitive tasks and free up people's minds to become better creators, entrepreneurs and leaders. Zoltan Isvan. If you're uploaded to a cloud, you won't have to earn a living. You'll give up some control of your life, and that will be your payment into this world to exist. It will be a near perfect world of bliss and progress. I wonder if it will. I'm going to saw past M.O. Sherman there. Mai Koye, an artist and activist. In 50 years, everyone will receive a basic income just for being human. Let's see what Max Levin's got to say here. It's quite a long one. You can pause it at that one if you want to read that one. AJ Jacobs. There will be 70% unemployment as all blue-collar jobs will have been replaced by robots. There will be a universal basic income. We'll look back in horror that we hired human beings to do menial tasks such as scrubbing toilets in our homes. It will seem the moral equivalent of child labour. How will we communicate with each other? Nadifa Mohammed. Through telepathic head implants installed at around 10 years of age. Isabel Allende. Telepathically via a chip implanted in the brain. Jenny Han. Google Mind. Wearable tech will turn into implantable tech. Let's see what Bright Simmons has got to say. We're still very bad at communicating ideas. Information flow does not equate to ideas flow. Maintaining emotional connection. Okay, his stuff's quite lengthy, so you can just read through that at your leisure. Mai Koye, artist and activist. We'll communicate with each other through a chip in our eyes. There'll be no need to speak, just think and blink to talk. What will we eat? How will we get information? It's in there. How will we get information? Let's have a look at that. Cal Henderson, co-founder and CTO Slack. We're already seeing the increase of personalized, tailored news feeds leveraging machine learning algorithms to serve up content will be most interesting. I predict you'll see that bleed over into the workplace with AI-powered software learning more about our daily tasks and projects to serve up relevant, pertinent information before we ever go searching for it. Mai Koye again, everyone will have a chip inside their head. Zoltan Isfan, what forms of transportation will we use? Our minds and thoughts will travel at the speed of light using networks of computer chips. Well, computer chips is not going to enable somebody to physically travel. Why is he pushing so much for computer chips? And Zoltan Isfan has got an RFID chip in his left hand, of course. What technology will bring about the biggest change in society? Geoengineering, biomimicry, and AI. Jen Rubio. Oren Etzioni. Augmented intelligence in the form of AI melded with human intelligence. The technology that will bring about the biggest change in society will be AI, Temple Grandin, and machine learning. We already have computer programs that can do medical diagnosis and legal work. AI will replace many high-end, specialized knowledge jobs, such as radiologists, internal medicine doctors, dermatologists, patent attorneys, contract lawyers, and traffic court judges. Zoltan Isfan, neural implants that are so good we can transfer our consciousness to a computer in full form. What's your best prediction for the world in 50 years now? Let's have a look at this one, see how lengthy it is. Well, I'll leave that one on screen. You can pause and read it if you want. Try not to make the video too lengthy. Zoltan Isfan again. A great transhumanist war will occur between those who embrace radical technology in their bodies and those who don't. Many will be affected by this time, and some will call it the end times. Those that side with technology and AI will win. Sounds like something right at the book of Revelation. But in Revelation, it's obviously those who accept Christ as Lord and personal Saviour who win. But anyway, let's continue. Oh, okay, so I've reached the bottom. Anyway, so that's a look at The World in 50 Years by Quartz, asking the boldest thinkers what the world will be like in 50 years.